I love both guys. I had a conversation with Stephen A. about it, and I told him I was Brown. I'd have walked up on him the same way.
I'm going to drop the mic on all of this right now once and for all.
When LeBron James walked up to Stephen A. Smith courtside, it wasn't just about basketball anymore. It was about fatherhood, respect, and legacy. But what made the moment explosive wasn't just the confrontation itself. It was who stood beside LeBron once the dust settled. None other than his longtime brother-in-arms, Dwyane Wade. This wasn't your average sideline exchange. It was a firestorm that quickly took over sports media, social platforms, and even mainstream news. Wade, always known for his class and loyalty, made it clear he wasn't going to sit quietly while his brother was publicly dragged. The media might have tried to twist the narrative, but Wade came through like a veteran stepping up in the fourth quarter, calm, calculated, and absolutely unshakable. As this saga unfolded, it became clear this wasn't just about Bronny James or even Stephen A.'s criticism. It was about the role of media in shaping public perception, the pressure on Black athletes and fathers, and the blurred lines between professional commentary and personal attacks. So today, we're diving deep. This is the full breakdown, the claims, the clapbacks, and the culture war playing out in real time.
That's my job! That's my job! I'm supposed to ignore that while he's wearing a Lakers uniform?
1. Stephen crosses the line. Before we jump in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a moment of real sports breakdowns. It started like so many Stephen A. Smith segments, loud, opinionated, and polarizing. But this time, the target wasn't just LeBron's performance or the Lakers' struggles, it was his son, Bronny James. Stephen suggested that Bronny hadn't earned his place and implied LeBron was protecting him from the fair critique all players deserve. Now let's be clear, commentary is Stephen A.'s job, but this time, his words struck a nerve. Bronny had only just begun his NBA career, stepping onto the court after a year filled with both pressure and personal health battles. He was still finding his rhythm, but Stephen didn't just critique his game. He cast doubt on his very presence, framing him as a product of nepotism. It wasn't just the take that stirred backlash, it was the tone. The suggestion that LeBron was shielding Bronny from criticism hit below the belt, and LeBron, known for being remarkably composed in the face of media pressure, finally snapped. During a Lakers game with cameras everywhere, LeBron walked up to Stephen A. courtside. No yelling, no theatrics, just presence, enough to shake up the entire sports world. Stephen's reaction? He called the move weak. He said it was staged, an ambush timed to embarrass him on the same night ESPN was announcing his massive new contract. The irony was impossible to ignore. The man with the loudest voice in sports media was crying foul, claiming he was being silenced. But things didn't stop there. Stephen took his defense tour to every platform imaginable. First Take, his own podcast, The Pat McAfee Show, even Club Shay Shay. He said he didn't attack Bronny. He said it was all misinterpreted, but the internet wasn't buying it. People mocked how many times he addressed the same incident. One viral TikTok said, Stephen A. defended himself longer than Bronny's been in the league. Even his peers started calling it out. The story had stopped being about Bronny and turned into the Stephen A. show, a media spectacle nobody asked for. It was time for someone with real perspective to step in.
Your microphone is the loudest, your platform is the biggest, and also you're a black man.
Yeah.
And I said, man, so you got to understand, where he's coming from with that. If he even approached you, because yes, the Skip Bayless of the world and all these guys have said things about him.
2. Wade's loyalty test. Wade didn't attack. He didn't troll. He did what real leaders do. He told the truth. During an appearance on 700 p.m. in Brooklyn with Carmelo Anthony, Wade made his stance crystal clear. He had texted Stephen A. directly and told him that if he were in LeBron's shoes, he would have done the same thing. As a father, I'm walking up on you, he said plainly. Wade spoke not as a celebrity, not even as a Hall of Famer, but as a father and a man of principle. His calm tone only amplified the weight of his words. He reminded viewers that LeBron has faced worse on the court and in the media without ever flinching. The fact that he confronted Stephen A., that meant the line had been crossed. But Wade didn't just defend LeBron. He reframed the moment. LeBron walking up to you was a sign of respect. he told Stephen A. He didn't go on Twitter. He didn't rant. He came to you, face to face. That means your voice matters. That means you matter. Wade's perspective shifted the conversation. It wasn't just about what Stephen said. It was about the responsibility that comes with influence. As one of the most powerful Black voices in sports media, Stephen A.'s words carry weight. Wade challenged him, not with insults, but with truth. And that truth resonated. Across social media, Wade was praised as the real MVP. People called him mature, grounded, and loyal. Someone who used his platform to uplift instead of escalate. Even Carmelo, sitting beside him, nodded in agreement. That meant something. He don't walk up on just anybody. In just a few sentences, Wade brought clarity to chaos. He reminded the world that integrity and friendship don't have to be sacrificed for headlines. And more importantly, he reminded Stephen A. that sometimes it's not about who talks the loudest, it's about who speaks with purpose. Third, legacy, media, and the fallout. Draymond Green spoke out, calling Stephen A.'s response dangerous. "Where we come from, you don't call a man weak for protecting his kid," he said on his podcast. Ryan Clark, Shannon Sharpe, and even former NFL players chimed in, backing LeBron and blasting the idea that defending your child somehow makes you soft. Meanwhile, LeBron James let his game speak. In a key game against the Milwaukee Bucks, he posted a career-best 17 points. He looked more confident, more fluid, and more like he belonged. Even Stephen A. had to acknowledge the growth. He looked composed. He looked ready, he admitted, but the damage was already done. The spotlight on Bronny had gone from media curiosity to national controversy. Every move he made was now dissected not just as a rookie, but as the son of a global icon under fire, and the media played a massive role in building that pressure. Behind the scenes, ESPN executives reportedly grew nervous. Stephen A.'s outbursts coincided with his record-setting contract extension. While Stephen spiraled across multiple platforms, LeBron stood firm and Bronny performed. Wade, meanwhile, brought the soul back into the conversation. Loyalty, fatherhood, legacy. The big takeaway? This wasn't just about a clip. It was about culture. This whole drama wasn't just noise. It was a wake-up call. It showed us what happens when commentary stops being insightful and starts becoming personal. When media voices blur the line between critique and character assassination. When the loudest mic in the room forgets that power comes with responsibility. Stephen A. Smith may have tried to paint himself as the victim, but in the process, he reminded us of the very thing Wade was warning about. The damage done when influence is used recklessly. Wade stood up, not for clout, but for principle. He didn't just defend a friend, he defended a legacy. LeBron reminded us that silence has a limit when it comes to protecting family. And Bronny? He kept his head down, worked on his craft, and proved he's got more than a famous last name. So we ask again, is Stephen A. doing his job? Or has he become the very spectacle he criticizes? Is Wade the true MVP of this story, bringing clarity when others chose chaos? Let us know what you think in the comments. And before you go, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and smash that bell icon so you're always tapped into the realest takes in the game. Because in sports media, the game doesn't end at the buzzer. And this story is far from over.